Confessions of Cheating Wives, coming up right now on Montel. So much for joining us today. You know, if you think infidelity means cheating husbands, cheating boyfriends, then I want you to take a look at this tape of the secret lives of wives. Take a look at this. Say the word infidelity and what comes to mind? Cheating husbands. Well, not anymore. Infidelity is a new and growing phenomenon among married women. Today, more and more women are straying from their husbands with no apology. They are demanding their needs be met no matter what the cost. And today, women have more opportunity. At the workplace, online, or at the gym, married women are meeting outside their marriage. Men who are willing to provide romance, adventure, or a steamy sex life. Things they aren't getting from their husbands. These increased opportunities to meet men other than their husbands are giving women reasons to stop and consider how happy or unhappy they are at home. Today, the secret lives of wives.
In the lunchroom, his leg bumped up against mine, and I didn't pull away, and I should have.
And then after the leg, and the hand, and then...
Well, the way I tell it is we had lunch, and then we had dinner, and then we had dessert.
Infidelity doesn't always wind up breaking up a marriage or destroying a relationship. In some cases, and especially now, there are articles written every other week about this. It seems that women seem to think that infidelity can help strengthen their relationship. Please welcome Nancy and her husband, Ron, to the show. Have a seat for a second. Let me slide over here for a second.
All right.
Because, Nancy, why don't you tell us what happened in your relationship?
Well, it's quite simple, actually. I was a cheater. I had a secret life. It was very painful, and it was hard to live a lie. But I followed my emotions instead of what I knew was right, which is my marriage. And temporarily, I went in search of greener grass.
So you found out you were looking for a greener path. Let's go back to that. How long have the two of you been married?
26 years.
And how long after the I do did you go in search of a greener pasture?
2 years.
2 years. And how long did that greener pasture appear to be greener?
It was about several months. It was a gradual thing. It was a man at work. Mm-hmm. So it's hard to say when it actually started being not right, because it started one day in the lunchroom. His leg bumped up against mine, and I didn't pull away, and I should have.
And then after the leg, and the hand, and then...
Well, the way I tell it is we had lunch, and then we had dinner, and then we had dessert.
And I'm just wondering, how long did dessert last? I mean, you going to the smorgasbord, or were you just like...
It was a few months.
A few months.
And, of course, the whole time I'm lying. I'm lying to my parents. I'm lying to him. I'm a Christian, but I felt like I couldn't go to church because I felt like that was a lie. So I was stuck in this place of torment on one hand, and yet it was really fun on the other hand.
Okay, but it's a couple months now. Did you find out about this?
Well, no, but it's funny. It starts out, I just need some time alone. And that should have been the red flag for me. And then that turns into, I think I need a little more time. And then it turns out, I think I want to get a separation. Then it turns out I want a divorce. And I'm crying, I can't sleep, I can't work. And those were the good days. It was just horrible, just torturous to think.
And how long did this go on?
Oh, this was going for weeks. Weeks. So,
okay, let me get this straight. You're married for 2 years, infidelity lasts for 3-4 months. How long after the infidelity stops, or did you find out as it was happening?
No, I did. There were friends that kind of said, they talked to her. She was emotionally detached from me.
Yeah.
It was like we'd never met. And there was a wall there. It was like I was talking to a stranger when we ever talked. And friends would say, especially girlfriends of hers that were married, would say, you know, I think she might be seeing somebody because she has no more emotional connection with you.
But I
killed
denied
that. And of course she denied it. And I was a horrible husband. I would call her bad names. I would argue with her until I won the argument. I was disrespectful to her. She was the butt of all my jokes.
But right now, I'm gonna take a break. But right now, what you're doing is you're gonna give me the justification for her cheating by saying that you made her the butt of all jokes. You want to give me?
I take responsibility, and I know in your book one of the big words is responsibility,
Absolutely.
And I'm the man. I take responsibility.
Without a doubt. And you know what? Before what? Stop. Now, I'm with you. He should be applauded for being responsible enough to accept the fact that there were some issues in his marriage that he needed to work on. But you were not the reason why she walked out the store.
Absolutely not.
Correct.
I don't blame him.
Any couple that would sit there and say, just because I didn't speak to you in the morning, just because I wasn't affectionate enough to you last night, and the wife never brought up the fact that you were not being affectionate, or the husband didn't bring it up, then therefore there's an issue that belongs to the two of you, not just one of you. And I'm not going to sit here and allow that to be sent out that it's one person's fault.
It was my choice and it was wrong.
Good, so let me take a little break. We'll be back right after this.
It was a dual responsibility. It wasn't just her fault. It wasn't just my fault. I was a jerk of a husband, and she was a jerk of a wife. Nobody told us how to do it right.
Now, so your case, how come the two of you are together? Because most men would say, see ya.
Well, part of it goes back to what we were talking about earlier, the responsibility.
Yes.
It was a dual responsibility. It wasn't just her fault. It wasn't just my fault. I was a jerk of a husband, and she was a jerk of a wife. Nobody told us how to do it right. So we decided, and you're right, it may be hard for a male to forgive his wife cheating, and that's where God plays a part in my life, and he gave me the strength to do it. But I had to swallow my pride, and I had to swallow my male ego and put that aside and say, hey, I own part of the responsibility for this. Now where do we go? And my wife came to me and asked me to forgive her. She said she was sorry, but a crucial thing is she asked for forgiveness. And I had to decide right there if I was going to forgive her or hold that over her head for the next 20 years.
Okay, so how did you make the decision, you know what? I just forgive you. Come on, I mean, because it's got to be.
You hit the key word. You hit the key word, decision. I made a decision. Everything is a decision. To love somebody is a decision. You can't just get caught up in the emotion of it, because the emotion changes like the weather. You decide.
Right. It's okay.
Through the help of God, I found the strength, and I made a decision that morning to forgive her for this infidelity. And somehow, that was taken out of my heart and out of my life. I never had, in the last 24 years, I tell everybody listening, I've never had a jealous bone in my body. I've never worried about infidelity ever again. It was gone. I made a decision, it was gone, and it was gone.
You made a decision that it was gone from your heart. You're the one, I say, who played. And sometimes that's difficult to get away from the fun.
Yes.
So how did you make a decision in your life to reconnect?
Yes.
To where you had told people you'd fallen out of love with your husband in 2 years.
Yes.
So how do you fall back in love with a man that you claim that you didn't love for 3 months?
It was a complicated process. It was actually, he forgave me easier than I forgave myself. Because I thought, what have I become? Who am I? How did this happen to me? How did I go down this slope and drift into this infidelity? This is not who I am. And yet it became who I was. So he forgave me, and I broke off with the man at work. In fact, we both actually talked to him.
You called him initially and said...
I called him that the morning that Nancy confessed to me that she was having an affair. She called her work, told her president that she was quitting, talked to the gentleman, that meant to be the right word, and she said she would never talk to him again, and she hasn't, have you?
Nope.
No.
I promise.
On the next Montel.
And he's backstage.
Please walk over. All right, I was just playing.
So I heart stopped.
You should have seen the look on her face.
So I talked to him and I said, after she spoke with him, I said, my wife and I are going to try to get our marriage back together, and I don't want you talking to her, and we don't want to see you again. And that was it. And we never have seen him again. She's never talked to him again. And then it became a process of rebuilding, trying to get the marriage back on track. What can I do, honey, to make you feel loved? Tell me 5 specific things. No guessing. I don't want to live up to expectations that I don't know what they are. Give me 5 specific things that make you feel loved.
Right.
And I will start doing those things, even though I don't totally feel that I love you or you feel that you love me. But if I can do these actions, what we found out is our emotions started catching up with our actions.
Yes.
And we were like pendulums. As we were changing, and then eventually after, and it took several years, 3 or 4 years, but eventually
The pendulum swung.
Right.
swung
We're
in the same
doing
direction.
this now.
And you can have, if you put the time and effort into it, you men have got to take a leadership role and take responsible and treat your wives like the queens that they deserve to be treated. And I'm telling you, she will treat you like a king.
Wow, yes, sir.
Montel, one of the key things is husbands have to make an effort to understand your wives. And that's what he's talking about by communicating. That doesn't mean yelling at each other, but really understanding her as a woman. My pastor says that's a very important thing, because if I understand her, I can stop making jokes with her in them. Okay, she's going to feel closer to me. I can stop calling her names that are inappropriate. I understand that. She starts being closer to me. So if you can start identifying things that help you understand your woman, that intimacy's going to grow. You're not going to need his stinking website, because your marriage is going to survive. And this website.
The heart wants what the heart wants. People will find their way.
No, that does no. Wait, let me just say.
Marriages are not made.
You must think.
No, you're right. Marriages are made right here.
That's
You
right.
have to stand
Minute by
tall
minute, they're
and
made.
fight. My wife wrote a book, The Greener Grass Syndrome, that the country is falling into that trap, thinking that the grass is greener on the other
Everybody's
side.
looking out
You
instead
have
at
to
their
stand
spouse.
and fight for your marriage. And I'm telling you, if you give them an easy out, people will take an easy out. If you take advantage of vulnerable people, which is what your website is doing, because people's
People
emotions
have always
flow.
strayed. They always
They don't.
will
You're
stray.
Yeah, but they don't need
It's
your
the
help.
human condition. They're
They
going to
don't
find
need
their
your
way
help.
anyway.
Let me just bring this to a close, because that's what we have to do. And just say this. I think we can all understand the analogy that was set up earlier. If in fact you water your own damn grass, which is exactly what you're saying, men paying more attention, women paying more attention. And I'm not going to sit here and blame men for this, because I will tell you, as we sit here, just like you said, there are enough women out there who are so angry and miserable in their relationships that have cheated and angry and feel as if they messed up, that they're constantly in that one girl's ear that seems to have the good relationship. And that's something I'm going to do a show about that, because it's like when your best friend sets you up to fail, just like she did. Oh. Out of time. Join us on the next one. If you want to